what we need to work on. So just kind of keep that in mind when playing. Also during this phase, I want you guys to be trying hard, playing at 100%. I want you guys treating this as a competitive match, a scrim, a tournament, pickup game, whatever the highest form of Overwatch you have played. That's kind of what I want to be seeing during this. So if I do end up calling somebody out, why are you doing this? Why are you making these decisions or whatever? I want to know, like, this is what you would be doing during a competitive match or something like that, so I can hopefully improve what you need to do. Okay, after that phase is done, I'll go over the analysis phase, or we'll be doing the analysis, which I'll talk about pretty much the 4 things and say what was good. Well, I'll pretty much say what was bad, and then if there's anything good or something like that, I'll go ahead and shout that out. If I see anything like super great that doesn't normally happen, but normally I'll just say, all right, well, your communication was good, all blah 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 blah, and that's pretty much it, and then we'll go to what needs to be worked on. So that's kind of how the analysis phase will go. After the analysis phase is over, then we will be doing the coaching phase. During the coaching phase, it will be I'll be talking, and we'll only be working on one of those things. So it's going to be kind of the exact opposite of what the diagnostic phase is. So like I said, during the diagnostic phase, you will be trying super hard to win, all this stuff, treating it as a competitive match, all that stuff. But during the coaching phase, I don't care if we win, I don't care if we lose. All we're working on is one thing out of the whole deal. So if we're working on team comp, I don't care what ults, when we use ults, or when we do this, or the communication. I don't care when we use ults if we're just working on communication or anything like that. So just kind of keep that in mind and keep that mentality during these phases and stuff like that. So I guess before we get started, looks like we're not going to have enough people that want to do pugs and stuff like that today, which is unfortunate, but this is like the second time I've done a gold lobby like this.
Has anyone been pinged for pugs?
No, I don't ping. I'm not going to ping in the Discord, so yeah, I'm fine. All right, so does anybody have any questions about anything specific about Overwatch, or something for me, or something for anything else that I may have not have covered in detail well enough? No? Okay. Let's go ahead queue up. Okay, well, that is so weird that we have to exit out of here and then we can play quick play. There we go. Yeah, normally I'm not going to ping the server for pugs on Monday or Tuesday's group. It's just going to be, if people are in here, then they're in here. If not, then oh well.
Today's Thursday.
Well, how are they supposed to know pugs are happening then? Because I didn't know. But then I opened your stream and I was like, oh, it says pugs.
Yeah, because it's mainly for people who's always in groups and stuff like that. It's not necessarily for people who are only here for pugs. People who are only here for pugs and stuff to that effect is going to be more for Tuesday. That's what that is. This is just an opportunity. So for people that's been in these lobbies 4 or 5 times that already kind of know the basics of stuff, then there's no need for you to necessarily be here. You'd probably be better off playing against us in those situations. So that's why I do the lobbies this way now.
Well, I'm just a low gold.
My chapstick is almost out, or my chapstick is out. I need to buy some more chapstick.
Imagine owning chapstick. My lips, they don't exist.
Traveling.
Yikes.
Prepare your defenses.
My lip's been chapped for like so long, dude. It's so annoying.
Alright, anything specific you guys are wanting me to play here? If not, I'll go ahead and pick based off of you guys.
What roles do you guys play?
I'm on DPS.
I can do any
Type next to our name.
I would request a McCree, since there's a lot of divey characters that get run on this map.
I'll pick off you, Pixel.
Justice
my
ain't
other
gonna
healer
dispense
compadre.
itself.
Okay. I'm going to go Brig. Or no, I'm gonna go Bap.
I heard it was your birthday, old man.
Okay.
So I went.
So our team comp so far is not terrible. We'll see how it works. Like I said, also if you're in stream or anything, go ahead and mute the stream or leave the stream either way.
Statistically speaking, I usually get most of my team back alive, but
I think this comp looks alright, but I don't mind switching over to.
Anna, try to call out your antis so we can get picks off them.
Okay.
So we have
I wanna
two flex supports. We have a lot of healing.
What?
Don't really have much
I'm gonna try my
defensive
best to play with you.
abilities.
Okay.
So this may not work out if
Doom
they
to our
have
left.
anything to.
You're charging it for a punch. Get ball. Ball's on
No
point.
bubble, no bubble.
Where's she going for res on the Zoom?
You're blocked up, Ryan.
Ryan,
Ryan's
you're
blocked up.
I'm dead. Ice mortality.
Nope. I'm just standing still. Get ball. Ball.
So communication
If you land a
isn't
stun on that,
terrible
ball, just
either so
call it
far.
out. Ryan, I'm trying to push him
Ball
back.
going for another push. Ryan, watch out.
I got it.
Zoom over. Zoom on up.
Doom takes in.
Ball half. Ryan.
Run out.
Why is he swinging around?
Ball. Ryan, keep the ball up.
So we have
Ryan,
four ultimates
We
online.
left our switches
Keep a
behind.
half.
Play a bit for the back.
Let's see how.
Jump's up top on bridge. So is Diva. What's this, computer center?
Ooh, that was a good volley. We're down 2.
Trap me.
Alright, I take down. Let's play back.
We use an ultimate here to kind of keep the momentum. But we should definitely like. Oh well, there's
That's
a.
both tanks out of the fight. I think we lost it.
Yeah, we lost that. I'm not gonna touch.
We definitely
Alright,
could.
we have basically 5 ults.
That was a decent Baptiste ult. It was just that nothing else was used.
Yeah.
We could probably win with just the dragon.
Hey, Pulse, do you want to take high ground with me?
Okay.
I hear you.
Oh shit, one sec.
Shoot the tire.
Okay, I'm heading with you high ground.
I got that from.
So we're gonna. Sorry, I touched.
I'm just level.
Where's that junk?
High ground.
Both your tanks are on low ground.
Understood.
No.
Yeah. So
You don't
we're
have your own.
losing this with 5 ult. We still have 5 ultimates online,
Right, I can't bubble you.
and we still haven't used them all.
I can't off your hand, sorry. I tried.
It'll take more than that.
So now we
After this,
have. Watch what's going to
We
happen.
can touch it last second.
We're going to high noon. We're going to grab. We're going to use Hanzo's ultimate and probably nano. I'd
I'm gonna
assume.
nano you, Ryan.
Okay.
So Shatter's definitely going to come out.
They're all anti. Don't let her go for res.
Okay, so we only use 2
Phase one
ultimates there.
card. Can make. Yep.
Get me.
You said.
Doesn't have eyes.
Oh, no, yeah.
Get it.
Oh, excuse me.
She couldn't do it.
That was a good kill.
Someone's
Anna
down
can sit.
point.
Anna can sit on payload, or we can go up. We can hold it.
Yeah, watch out for flankers like Junk. If they go.
Yeah, jump from castle.
Junk's definitely a flanker.
Oh, we're really spread out.
Yeah, we should be holding him
probably
here.
pop
Our
grab
healers can sit on payload. We don't need to have our whole team on payload.
Watch out for the jump
Just
res.
help. Just
It's
help.
left. Hard
Third
left push.
hog left side.
Two stop. Junk and Hog on side. They're in the castle.
Much better.
Oh, there's that.
Yeah, this is fine.
We just don't really make any plan for ultimates at all. Communication's good so far. Team composition's alright. We swapped to Wrecking Ball on a point of the map where
Alright, I'm
Wrecking
gonna
Ball's
try
not
to
going to be the
load
best.
out the graphics,
Ryan would definitely be a lot better here.
I can bait it maybe.
I'm gonna go.
Like they're using ultimates to start fights, which is what we're not doing. Like the payload's getting to that point there, and they're investing ultimates.
Oh, no, I'm not.
So now we're getting to the last fight.
People's on our.
We have ult. We have ult. Use your ult.
Yeah, we can't be holding on.
Send to anti.
And we lost.
Oh,
We never used
sorry, I
Ground
was supposed to
Dragon.
use Steven.
Okay, so we're gonna play one more just to see if the same issues are coming up again. So I'm just gonna go ahead and back it out real quick.
Play of the
I
So
definitely felt that in that fight. For me, that was a lack of range. They were really spread out.
Yeah,
I
just positioning.
think we failed to use our ults at the beginning of fights, because when we lost first point, we had like 5 ults up. And I think that was a pretty consistent issue, because when we lost second point, we had ults up.
Yeah. Well, the other thing was we were all dead basically, so we couldn't all.
And we also died with ults. And I think we should have been using our ults at like the beginning of fights, like when we go, okay, they're pushing in, let's use
Yeah, that's
dragon.
smart. That's what we should have
Grab
done.
dragon.
We weren't positioned well either. Like, we should have been holding little different spots. Not like I'd spread out.
I'm very confused on the ball pick and the positioning of like not necessarily like not engaging, but like not trying to engage and just giving up so much space on second point. Like we pretty much gave them all of second point. If we didn't get some crazy kill, then we probably would have been able to
I'll pick off you, Pixel.
come and do
No, let's switch it up. You pick first and then I'll pick.
hella late today. Yeah, you're about
Okay.
an hour and 21 minutes late. Overthinking. A little too much. Is there anything specific you guys are wanting me to play here?
We could use like an Ash or something long range, I suppose.
Okay. Alright, and I will pick,
This map's kind of trash, not gonna lie.
I'll pick some
Oh, junk.
Tor.
You could go junk
We're gonna
rat.
run.
Okay.
We're running spam basically. Probably be
Alright.
Oh, never mind.
Bowser, are you gone?
incoming in 30
If we're going spam, I was gonna go risk. I'll go with Zarya then. Or you know, I'll do Sigma actually if we're doing spam.
Okay.
That
So our
was-
team comp, like, it looks like their team compositions
You
Alright.
pick off you. You
Alright.
pick.
don't need to be fixed. Like, they know how to make kind of
Can't
team
be just
compositions to start out.
I was picking off you and you were picking off me, so we kept switching.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're playing more brawl with a lot of spam, so
Looks like less of a spam.
1. Attackers incoming.
No, we should have time to set up.
Well, our tanks are brawl, so I don't know what we're doing with this. Look, I'm gonna drop down. I'm not even used up here.
Roadhog discorded.
They have an echo. I don't know where she's going.
okay, so
They're
our
going,
Ryan
like,
just drops
outside.
down.
All
I don't
teams are
know.
far left.
Dude, they're going to
They're
space.
going into.
Oh, Tiger.
They're bad.
That's alone. That's alone.
Score.
I'm not gonna face him. I'm not gonna face him.
Some point. Just
It's probably Echo.
Ball on point.
Oh, they have a ball. Okay. So we're completely spread out. Positioning, we don't know where to set up.
Point on right.
Ryan, can you get to him on the left side?
I'm coming there.
Thank you.
All discorded.
Oh, I'm gonna get hooked.
Ryan, you're alone?
Yeah.
Back friend. Roadhog discorded.
He's hooked.
I want to get to high ground, but I can't without going too long.
Guys, put them down. Ryan's not smart right now.
Roadhog discorded. Spot track.
No lamp.
So we have
I'm a little.
some ultimates, but we're not
yeah,
going to chance to
down,
keep
down.
our
I know I'm trying.
Ryan
Thanks,
up, it
ball,
looks
Ryan.
like. Very lucky.
Well, get ball. Get ball. Get ball.
No, fans.
Or no fade.
Back on point.
But top of point.
The
Back
tire.
on point.
Hog flanking, hog flanking. I know.
Nice charge, Ryan. Thank you.
Moira.
Chase Moira down, chase her. Don't let her escape.
Moira discorded.
Good kills, good kills.
Let's retake
guys.
high ground. We don't want to give them any advantages.
Their positioning starting out was just kind of really bad. Their engages and disengages are kind of rough as well. Ultimates.
I haven't played this map in so long. I didn't even know you can go under here. I'm gonna drop shadow right here once that's
Alright. I'm gonna hold off and grab him.
Hello?
Oh, I'm dead. I didn't drop. I mean, I did, but I thought
That was pretty good ultimate there.
Grouped up on point.
Get the Ryan,
Oh my god, that bad.
Ryan's on
We
point.
have grab.
Mario.
And we have the assault. Good.
Here's Ari's alone.
Can we?
That's well.
Yeah, they got it.
That's alright, we whaled them up for flanking.
I'm surprised we did. This map's so hard to hold.
30 seconds remaining. Objective lost.
Man, ultimates are close too. It's like positioning.
Something I'm noticing is our tanks are very split up from the rest of our team. So
Well, we're playing Brawl and they're playing Spam, so like DPS are like very want to play the
The thing is, you're leaving someone else to die. Like,
we want to be up close and you guys want to be far away. We're playing like different strategies.
Tracer right
You
there.
don't have to necessarily.
yeah, but you're chasing down one person.
Watch the hug.
Roadhog discorded.
Like you can easily run
You can probably
spam and stuff at the same time. Like that's usually what DPS do anyways. Yeah, so Bob comes out.
Tracer on or is
Hey,
that?
Bob comes out. Good ultimate. So ultimate user
right
seems to
side.
be a little better. Positioning seems to be a little weak
Left side
when it comes to
Moira.
that.
Bottom.
Good heals. I'm gonna hold right here. I'm gonna walk through them.
Plug burning and left side bottom.
I have no idea why we would
Roadhog
hold low
discorded.
ground here.
Bottom left.
We're just gonna kind of give them beef in the team
Tracer
chat.
top
Yeah.
left.
watch for bomb.
One foot flank on jump.
We're gonna tread bomb.
Tracer burning. The right towards point. The right towards point.
Ryan, back right on our back.
Maps us.
Get Ryan in their back line. Get Ryan in their back line.
Don't get the touch. Nice.
No, we'll have to.
Focus around. Ryan. Get Ryan. Focus Ryan. Focus Ryan.
Good kill, Sean.
Moira no page.
I'm gonna go high ground.
So like that's something that like they don't know where to hold
Alright, can you
or
sorry,
where
can
to
you follow
do
me out high
anything.
ground?
Yeah.
They're just kind of all.
Keep in mind we have a tracer on our left, so don't get too tunnel vision.
Break bubble, break bubble. Okay, we're good.
My shield's half.
Tracer going in their back line.
And Ryan's the first one to drop. I don't know why.
Tracer left.
No recall.
Ryan's the first one to drop. That's
Tracer very low.
gonna probably hurt us a lot. Kind of a little bit of waste of ultimates there.
Ash is high ground, and someone can contest him.
So I'd say like their ults are kind of iffy, but they're
30 seconds.
Crap. I couldn't do it.
Here.
Sorry. You can do this.
positioning is pretty bad. Ultimate
What else do
usage.
we have bombs.
Yeah.
Fire. We're gonna have to pop them. That's like, yeah, any ults you gain, you pop them because they're gonna be last fight. Ball. He's having that time. Diva. Trent's going for the fight. Trent's going for the fight. Trent's alone. Moira.
Oh, great grab. That was a good grab.
Nice job. Good grab. Stop him from moving.
Alright, so I don't think they understand a little bit about how to position,
That game went a bit better.
and then necessarily how to use ultimate. Or it's really engaging too, because their engages are just kind of weird and where they hold up. Like they don't understand how to position themselves on the map and who needs to touch and when to touch and stuff. So it's just kind of like those basic things that they're having problems with. All right, let's go over what was good, what was bad, and then go from there. All right, do you guys have any questions about anything before I get started with this part? No? Okay. After I go ahead and go with the analysis and stuff, if you guys have any questions about anything specific that I may have not have gone into as much detail, then I'll go ahead and let you know that. Yeah, they played really good with some aspect, kind of weirdly. Yeah, like I said, it was kind of back and forth on some stuff, but overall, you guys' communication's pretty solid. There's a little bit of times that you guys are a little quiet, but overall, you guys' communication on relaying information, calling targets to focus and stuff like that, really good. Like, it's just pretty consistent. That's definitely what you want to be doing when you're competitive, if you have a mic and you can talk, obviously. So, like I said, your communication, I don't think there's any major problems with your communication overall. One thing I will say, and this is just kind of a general tip and stuff, even if you are losing and you are getting rolled and stuff, you still want to make sure you're keeping that communication up. You don't want to stop communicating even though you're losing, because then you're even lose probably a lot harder just because there's no communication and coordination with your team. So just kind of keep that in mind when it comes to the communication part. But overall, you guys' communication was pretty solid. Next thing, I'm gonna go with y'all's team comp. Y'all's team comp on Eichenwald. I do have a question about Eichenwald on a couple things. But one thing on Eichenwald on defense. On third point, why did our Reinhardt swap to Ball? What was the reason for the Wrecking Ball pick?
Yeah, I mean, I was just kind of like, I don't even know why I did it. I don't know. I don't normally have a reason. I just was bored around, I guess. I don't know.
Okay, so you're bored of playing a hero, so you swap to a worse hero on an objective.
I don't have a reason. That's what I'm saying. I don't really have a reason.
Well, I mean, the rest of the team that's going to lose and stuff like that from you, you have to have a reason.
Better with Ball.
I
feel like I wasn't doing enough with Ryan, so I thought I'd push the Ball.
Okay. Well, I mean, keep in mind when it comes to hero picks and swaps and stuff like that, it's all going to vary on the map. And there's also different sections of maps where people are going to be better, people is going to be worse, and also depends on what they're playing. If you're going to play Ball, that's fine, but not on third point. Third point is not necessarily where Ball is going to be super strong and stuff like that all the time. It's more so going to be built for Reinhardt. You can run Ball, but I mean, they're already running Reinhardt there, so why would you run that into that? If you're going to run Ball, I'd say either second point or even first point, you could run it as well. Either one would be fine. But like I said, the Ball, just because you're doing bad on a hero during an objective, or like during a certain objective, does not mean that a certain a better pick or different pick needs to come out. It's one of these things is like, I'm pretty sure you guys have had this, but this happened a couple times where I've heard this as well, where you do a couple fights with the team comp, right? And then you're about to do the third fight, and this is when you have your ultimates and stuff, right? And the enemy team probably has their ultimates as well. You've been losing and stuff, and then they use 2 ultimates to win the fight, or 3 ultimates to win the fight, and they're like, oh, well, this team comp don't work. We need to swap our team comp. It doesn't make a difference what team comp you was going to play. You was going to lose no matter what because they use their ults. Simple as that. If they use ults to win a fight, you lose that. That's usually what ultimates are going to do, is help you win a team fight. So it's one of those things that you got to understand when it comes to switching heroes and stuff like that. Yes, second point, first point, you can definitely run as a Ball. Third point, I mean, if you're already on the Reinhardt, you might as well just stay on the Reinhardt since they're running Rein as well, and just mirror match up that and get more value that way. Next thing is on and I'll mention this for the support line as well. Running an Ana and a Baptiste, yes, it's a lot of healing, but we don't really have any defensive plays for anything. We have the immortality field, but that's not really going to be all the time useful. We don't necessarily have a defensive ult for anything that they could be running. So that's something that you do want to kind of look out for when running a BAP and an Ana. We also don't really have any play style of like what we're trying to do. And usually that's where you're going to be picking like either Brig or Lucio. Any of those would have been fine with any of the ones that we was playing, just so we can have either defensive ult or some type of more brawly style or something of what we're trying to do. Either one, but it's something that you do want to kind of keep in mind. And the other thing is, like, if you have two supports that do a lot of output of healing, you can probably assume that none of them are going to get ults correctly. Meaning that it's going to take either a long time for both of them to get ults, or one will build their ult super quickly and the other one won't build their ult really at all, because you have two very strong outputs of healing, which is cool, but it's not really going to save you from burst damage. It's not. So these are things that you just want to kind of keep in mind and everything like that. But next thing, I did want to talk about on y'all's Horizon. Why did we swap to Monkey on second point there? Light. Hello, Light Bounty. Hello.
Hello.
Hey, well, why did we swap to Monkey on the second point there?
Oh, I thought it'd be a better choice based on what their damage their comp was, because it was just, I don't know, in the dive was better.
Okay, fair enough, because that was a good swap. Because they're running a Tracer, Echo, they're running Diva. They swap to Diva and stuff like that. But that's fine. Monkey can work there as well. But either one would have been fine. I was just curious about the pick there. So Ryan can work, and Monkey can also work really well there too. It just kind of depends. And you said it was to deal with their DPS, which they was running an Echo and Tracer. Winston can help deal with that pretty well. They're also running a Moira. If she uses Fade or something, you can jump down on her. And then they are also running a Ball and Monkey and stuff like that. So their team comp wasn't terrible for it. So next thing, let's talk about you guys's. Okay, so the last two things are kind of, they kind of went back and forth on, like, they were good and then they were bad and then they were good and then they were bad. So, but I think overall, I know what the worst thing was. So first off, you guys' ultimates were bad and then they were okay the second round. They were a lot better the second round. But I mean, if it's a competitive match and you were on Eichenwald, you would have lost that because of your ultimate usage. It's simple as that. You guys died with 4 ultimates multiple times, 5 ultimates multiple times. We never grabbed Dragon the whole time, or we never used Grab, we never used Dragon. Like, these ultimates never came out. Like, we had BAP used 2 ults before we used anything else. So it's like, those are something that you want to kind of keep in mind. And like, when you have multiple ults online, or you have an ult online, try to go ahead and use it. Like, that BAP ult on first point, it could have worked. It was like, hey, they use ults, we're down a couple people, let's try to BAP ult, try to save some stuff, go from there. It's not like we're getting a lot of value from BAP anyways, or at least like the ultimate's not going to get a lot of value anyways, so might as well go ahead, try to throw it out, see if you can tilt the team fight back in your favor. Definitely try to go for it. But if not, then obviously we got to use something else. But that's something that you definitely want to keep in mind when it comes to y'all's ultimate play. And then on y'all's second point on Horizon, we lost it with multiple ultimates online, but it was kind of a quick fight, which kind of played into the other thing, that like y'all's positioning a little bit and disengaging and engaging and stuff like that we're going to go over. But overall, you guys' ultimate usage on the Horizon map, you guys played a lot better with your ultimates. I will say on that grab on second point, excellent grab so that Bob doesn't get to contest and stuff like that. I don't know if you knew where Bob was coming from, but either way, the grab grabbed the Bob, which he was not able to touch and stuff like that. So really good grab there on that. Overall, much better ultimate usage from everybody on that. Oh, and this is another tip that I did see a couple times happening. And this goes for everybody to understand this. Okay. Oh, look, you know what? Let me ask. what let me ask our tank players. So Light and J2, I want to ask you guys really quick what you guys would do if since you guys are playing tank, what do you guys normally would do when a Hammond uses mines? What is y'all's like initial reaction? Like, say y'all won the fight and everything like that, what are you guys going to do with the mines?
Depends what character I'm running. Like if it's Ryan, I'll use my hammer to destroy him.
Well, any tank's going to be the same answer.
I'll destroy the mines.
Okay, destroy the mines. Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah.
Fight, I'll throw...
Okay. And then J2, what about you?
My initial thought would be to back out and throw some. Assuming I'm playing Zarya, would be to back out, throw some secondaries, and if the fight is, you said we won the fight.
Yeah, you won the fight.
I'd probably pop barrier or on either myself or an ally and try to grab some energy then.
Okay, fair enough that way. Okay, so that's not a terrible answer. But yeah, the big thing is like, well, Pixel, exactly. Alt charge for healers. Walk into the mines. He's not getting alt charge from them. Walk into the mines, take the damage, so your healers can heal you back up and get alt charge from that. That is a very underrated thing that does not happen a lot of times in lower SRs. So I do want to give you that tip because I did see a couple times where like our Reinhardt was swinging into it, and I see this all the time where like mines come out, Reinhardt puts shield, walks forward, destroys the shield, doesn't have shield for the next fight, and is like, oh, what the heck? Like obviously, like, but one thing also you want to keep in mind too is like, if your supports have ults online, then you don't necessarily need it because it's not going to do anything. But if they don't have their ults or they need their ults, go ahead, take that extra damage and stuff like that. And that's why I asked our tank players. If you're not a tank player, you probably don't want to do that with a 200 HP, just in case you happen to bump into the second one and now you're dead. So just kind of keep that in mind. All right, so we're going to work on positioning because you guys' positioning was kind of bad overall. Not necessarily bad as in you don't know where to position to an extent. You guys kind of had okay positioning, but your guys' engages kind of rough overall. And also on the first point on Horizon, our Reinhardt was on the right side shielding your Junkrat. Why was you shielding the Junkrat there?
He looked low and I wanted to keep him alive.
At the beginning of the fight? Or at the beginning of the match?
Yeah, I mean, I gotta shield someone.
Okay, fair enough. You got that answer, but I mean, there's no real.
I'm just gonna stand there and not hold my shield up.
Yeah, but I'm on the right side. You should probably be on the left side so that everybody else can get a little bit.
I'll be on the left side next time.
Yeah, so like these are things like starting out in starting position and stuff like that. You're just gonna give that high ground to him. So these are things that you gotta understand as well. So type that pug. So if anybody in stream wants to come in and join again, then they can feel free to join. If not, we'll play more quick play. But I'll go explain what we're going to be working and stuff like that. We got.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Around 710.
Go ahead. Yeah.
How is my positioning?
As who?
Zen.
There's a lot of times you're playing a little too close, and you're playing on low ground. If this was last fight or last match on Horizon, you were playing on low ground way too. Like there was no reason you should be playing on low ground against a Tracer. Like that's dumb. She's just going to come to you, attack you every single time. You should be playing on the high ground so she has to invest cooldowns to get to you, or she's like out of the fight for way too long, or if she starts taking the high ground and stuff like that, then you can play a little close. You can play close to your Baptiste and do that. But other than that, like you never took the position of high ground, and you wasn't really buying any health packs either. So like a lot of times you're just kind of in the middle of everywhere and not actually doing anything, or not necessarily not actually being able to get help if you need it. So those are things. All right.
What about me as Ash?
I didn't really see any major mistakes on Ash, but I also didn't like see you that much. So I can't. I like if I would have seen you, then I would have been like, oh yeah, you're in good position or bad position. But like for me, I'm playing an off angle, so I wasn't necessarily looking at our other DPS on where you was playing. So it's just going to be stuff that I happen to see. But I do remember distinctly that our Zen on second point was low ground right side almost every single time, which is a very bad place for Zen to be. That's just something that I did happen to see. Okay, so how we're going to work on positioning because like you guys' engages and disengages and stuff like that are pretty bad. So if people in stream want to come in and join, you can. If not, we're going to do this against AI really quick to kind of show you guys engages. and we're going to run a specific team comp. So a team comp that we're going to be playing, put it on team 2. Well, actually, you know what? We'll make this even super easier. Destroy, remove all bots. I'm going to add a bot. Add AI. 1. On team 2. And there we go. Okay. So I'm going to put this person as the person that we're going to be attacking and stuff like that. No, you know what? We're going to change her to Zarya. Because these are easier cooldown to kind of manage. Okay, so we're going to be playing a specific team comp. The team comp that we're going to be playing, well, we're going to play 2. We're going to start one out with Winston composition, and then we're going to start one out with a Reinhardt composition. We're going to do the Winston one first. Team comp for the Winston is going to be Winston, and then we're going to run Zarya, then we're going to run a Reaper Sombra, and then we're going to run a Ana, or not an Ana, a Moira and a Lucio. So this is the composition that we're going to run. Obviously stick to whatever role you're playing in now. That is the role that you're going to be playing in this little custom game here. So how this works is literally when it comes to blank, what do you want to play? Reaper or Sombra here?
Could you repeat the tanks again?
Winston, Zarya. So how this is going to work is we're literally waiting on cooldowns. So once we have cooldowns, we want to use all our cooldowns on the same target at once. And this works for any team composition that you're going to be playing. As soon as you engage, that everybody needs to engage. So we're going to kill this Zarya starting out first as soon as she's here. Just going to focus her down so she can reset and we can have some time. Okay, so now what we're going to do, big thing when it comes to engaging and disengaging is going to be looking at enemy abilities on when you're going to have a good opportunity to do that. Zarya is a really good example of this because it's Zarya bubble. As soon as you use a Zarya bubble, that is your engagement tool. So ideally you want to wait for certain abilities to come online, for example the Zarya bubble. As soon as we see the Zarya bubble come out, that's when we need to push in. So we're going to shoot her a little bit, let her use her bubble. Alright, now we dive, and we focus her down. And that's how you want to be engaging. So it's simple as that. Every team composition, or no matter what team composition you're going to be doing, whenever you're engaging, you want to make sure, 1, you engage with the rest of your team, and 2, make sure you have a good engagement. Just because you see a target, you don't necessarily need to go for it if you don't necessarily have to. Now, there's a couple other engages that you can do. Engages during rotation. So, we'll go ahead and kill her real quick. Go ahead, Sombra, if you want to hack her real quick. Just kill her, focus her down. We'll start about the next one. Okay, so the other engagement that you want to look for is going to be rotations. So rotations is going to be from a choke to the objective. And for this instance, there, you know where the choke is, these 2 things here. The objective is back over there by that plant thing or fountain. So as soon as they come through the choke and you see them commit, that's when you want to dive. So that is another engaging tool that you can look for. So they push forward, 3, 2, 1, let's go. We go diver. No matter if they use the ability or not, because during this phase, there is no cover, there is no place for them to stand, there's no back out. They have committed to that fight. So these are things that you're going to be looking for when you're engaging as well. And now you can cause rotations of enemy teams by taking position and stuff like that. So, for instance, let's say the enemy team is holding this platform where your Reaper is at, and the platform where everybody holds, right? And we're running this composition. You need to get them to rotate, or you get them to use abilities. So, easiest way to do that is, 1, you can just speed through, go straight to the objective. That'll cause a rotation. You can try doing that. Or, you can take the top left side. On defense, it's the top left with a mega health pack. You can speed up and go through there. That will also cause a rotation. During that rotation phase, they will be going from an area where they're able to shoot from the choke to the objective. During that rotation, you want to attack. That is going to be your prime area to attack. You do not want to let them set up completely on the objective, because then they will have another advantage against you. So that's why you do rotations. That's why you put people in certain areas. So it doesn't mean your whole team needs to necessarily go to the left side or go to the whatever. You could always have Sombra just start contesting point, because what's going to happen if Sombra's contesting point? somebody's going to come contest, or they're going to give a point up for free, or a monkey can go jump on point, and everybody else can go do something else. Like, it doesn't matter, but anything can cause a rotation. Usually, touching the objective will cause a rotation of somebody on the objective. So these are things that you want to be looking for when it comes to rotating and things to engage on and disengage on. So does everybody kind of understand that a little bit there? Does anybody have any questions about any of that type of stuff?
So like we do the same thing when the whole team's there.
I'm sorry?
So like when the whole team's there, we're gonna do the same thing, just like with all the players at once.
Yeah, except you're going to look for, there's going to be easier targets to go for and harder targets to go for. Then there's going to be your more, like, any targets that have movement abilities, you probably want to stay away from those unless they use those movement abilities and stuff like that. So just keep that in mind when it comes to looking for targets to focus down.
I have to use the bathroom.
Oh, okay. We'll go ahead and take a...
Good targets to focus down are Bap, Ana, and Zen.
Not necessarily Bap, because he has a...
Bap can just jump away.
But he's super mobile.
Really far movement.
He can jump to high ground, so as soon as you use your cooldowns to jump, you ain't catching him. 2, he has immortality, so that's going to negate any damage that's going to come in, any burst damage and stuff like that. And then he can just jump away, so that, and you said Zen's a good target if you can get to him. That's the hard thing about getting to Zen. If Zen's playing in a good position, where I don't know if anybody was watching stream last night when I was playing on Junkertown, where I was playing the Ana on first point on defense, and I was playing by that little cog or gear. Back in that area, it is very hard to dive a hero, because if your team is holding that choke, if somebody tries to dive you, they're going through so many people to get to you. And then you're also in a pretty decent area to where you don't have to worry about anything. Where you don't have to worry about getting shot, so. And then, I don't know what the other one you named. We're just waiting on Cassiger to come back from the... Ana's not terrible, but she's not the easiest to dive either. Just because she has the nade, and if she nades herself and you guys are there as well, you guys all get anti-nade, and if their team follows you in on that dive, you guys ain't surviving that. She might survive, or she might die or something, but like I said, you guys will be anti-naded. That is permanent damage that is not getting healed. So any burst damage comes from their team, it's going to be pretty tough. So it's one of those things as well. And then also the sleep dart is a thing. So any sleep that she lands, and that person's out of the fight for 5 seconds. So they're not necessarily the hardest easiest. They're not necessarily the hardest targets, but they're not necessarily the easiest either. They all have their different things that you can go for and not, but out of the supports, I would say Zen's probably one of the easiest to dive, and I would say Mercy too, if she uses her ability. As soon as she uses her ability, Mercy's dead. As soon as she flies, but it's on a short cooldown, but she has no other way to get out. She's going into somebody, that's it. Like, as soon as she flies, that's kind of over. Brig's not necessarily terrible either, but it's kind of the same as a Baptiste. All right, so let's go to Q. It's kind of the same as a Baptiste, where it's going to be a lot harder for her to die, just because of the killing and stuff like that.
Stun.
Yeah.
When we punish the enemy team on a rotate, what angles do you recommend taking on them?
It doesn't matter.
Off angle.
It doesn't matter. As an angle that you can die, as long as you can focus them down, it doesn't matter if you're coming from left, right, back, bottom, inside the map. It doesn't make a difference. As long as you can attack them during that rotation. So we're gonna be playing the same team composition, and if we're on defense, okay, easy. Defense is way easier to do a dive composition or any type of stuff like that.
Taking Zarya, dang.
Oh, sorry. Did you wanna?
You can go Zarya. It's fine, I guess.
Okay. My bad, I should have asked.
I'll go Zarya next then, I guess.
Yeah, sure.
I haven't played Monkey in a fat minute. I mean, I played him last game, but that was because I was trying to learn again.
Okay, so let's show you guys where to hold up in position and everything for that effect, to where you guys get the most value from this area, or this type of gameplay. So ideally you want to be on high ground, but you also don't want to be able to get shot before you're there. So where you're holding up, Monkey, is completely wrong. You want to hold up to the top right over here.
Repositioning.
Where your Reaper's at. And you want to wait, because that rock area where your Zarya is just crossing, that's a choke. The point is the objective. So if they go right side, they're moving from the choke to the objective. If they go left side, they're moving from the choke to the objective. So that's pretty much what we're going to be waiting for before when they come in. So all we're doing is literally waiting for that to happen and then going in on if Sombra hacks a target or something like that. So all we're doing is literally waiting. So ideally Sombra is going to be a key player in this.
Are we
so
dropping down when we walk through?
Yeah, if we see an ability come online, so we're just gonna wait for him.
Mega below us, so
okay.
we can try to force them in there so they don't
Get down. Give me 20.
Let's see if any abilities. Nope. Okay, let's go.
Right hack.
We're on point by ourselves.
Allow me to repair the damage.
The brig's out.
Yeah, all we gotta do is just go, just play on the objective.
Widow top.
And then, so ideally if they touch the objective, you probably want to get somebody who touches the objective. The best target for that first dive was probably going to be the Sigma because the shield broke pretty much immediately. So
Let's go back up,
go for them. And then obviously you want to keep an eye out for their Widow. And we're not going to be diving their Widow because there's only like 2 people that can actually dive.
Oh, sorry.
So I'll be looking for those.
I dove. I didn't really realize I shouldn't.
Alright, they're rotating. Let's go.
Outside. Winston, keep that up. Get Monkey.
No hack.
Sorry.
Jump hack.
Wait, this is probably lost here. They're using their ultimates. Let them go ahead and use their ultimates. But just die on the point. Main thing here is just... Yeah, we're just gonna die on the point. Oh. Just stall out as long as possible and then get your ultimate.
I could have probably got out, but I just wanted to die in point.
Yeah, you're at 98%, so that's fine. We could have probably just pulled... I didn't know how many people was left alive, so we probably could have been able to retouch. But we'll be fine.
Monkey, this probably fine since you don't play Monkey much, but I noticed that when he jumped down, you immediately jumped their main crowd when there was a...
Yeah, I'd never played one. I don't know why.
Also,
I
when
wanna
you
dive that
jump, you may want to melee before you start fighting. It does do a bit more burst.
Alright, Sigma shield's down. Let's go for Sigma. Talk right?
I don't know this map well, sorry.
Yeah, so Zarya's not with us.
Sigma hack.
Yeah, we're down 2 people right now, or 3 people, because your Zarya wasn't there, and your so we need to pull back. We need to just give them some space.
Let's pull back.
Then we're gonna have to touch on the payload in a second. All right, so let's go on the payload. Over here. Let's go.
Oh, are you calling our ults?
No, you guys can do whatever else you want. So their line came into us, so we can just go ahead and focus him down. No, get the Rogue first, and then go for Sigma.
Widow's up top, Widow's up top.
Where's the Widow?
Widow, jump down the right side. Let it go. Sorry.
Right, so we're gonna hold the high ground again, and then we're just gonna wait for them to
we have 5 holes.
come through the choke.
Alright.
So as soon as they pass this little bridge, or this little thing here, we're gonna drop down. So we're looking for an ability.
I'm gonna look for a grab spot.
I could have.
No, we can just engage our grab. Let's go. No, we have stuff on one. Go. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
Alright, ready? I'm gonna
Dang. We need to continue pushing.
Radiant. Turn on right side.
No, keep pushing.
Pushing it?
Keep pushing. You kill the last person that comes out. Now we can go reset. If they want to keep pushing with 3 people, we can keep pushing into them. Doesn't matter.
Get into position.
Well, we're gonna go pull back, and we're gonna take the high ground again.
I had storage.
You want to try not to amp, because we're going to need amp. We don't need it. Alright. Let's go. 3, 2, 1, go. Drop down.
Take my hash again.
Keep pushing this. Doesn't appear on the left side by our mid. Let's just pull back a little bit, give them some space, wait for our tanks to come back in. Then we can go back in.
See you later.
Pull back, Zarya. Alright, we got our team, let's go. He's probably gonna use flexing a little bit. Just keep pushing. Good thing you want to look for here is watch the payload just in case they happen to C9, but keep pushing forward. Keep pushing. Keep pushing. Get them more. She just used fake. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Now you want to pull back because your main tank's gone. So go ahead. Give us the safe and get out of here. Yeah, as soon as you lose your main tank, you want to play a little more defensive just in case.
I got 8 right?
No. But we have abilities that we can use first. Like I said, abilities are also ultimates and stuff. Alright, so let's go. 3, 2, 1, go. We keep pushing this.
Junkrat is still on top.
Okay. Yeah, Junkrat's bottom. Alright, now get the Junkrat. If we, how many people we got? 1, 2. Yeah, we can hold on cart. Don't let them touch the cart.
We can EMP.
Let's go back high ground.
Yeah, just take the high ground again. Yeah. Taking high ground again. So try not to use abilities to get to high ground. You want to use ability. You don't want to use any abilities. All right, well we gotta go. One's down there. Go.
Fire at will. EMP activated.
Okay, so we used 2, 3 ultimates when we're down 2.
The fight was started.
30 seconds remaining.
Alright, so we need to back out and reset. Back out and reset because we can retouch here. But we only have 2 ultimates to come in. Monkey, you're gonna have to touch first. Do we all have here? Alright, let's go. Monkey, you go engage.
I could have jumped into that.
One.
Let's hold the point.
Mercy hack.
Surrender to
Okay.
Victory.
Yeah, that grab was a bit
Yeah, and, if you have abilities, and this is also meaning ultimates and stuff, you want to look to open with those because those are an ability. It's the same thing as using your shift. It's the same thing as using any of your other abilities. Use that to engage the fight. You don't have to wait for them to always use an ability before you go to engage. If you have an ultimate to go and engage, if you have abilities online and they haven't used anything, they're either going to start touching point or you have to engage that fight. You have to start that engagement. So you can't always wait for an ability to come online. So as soon as they start walking, you give it about 2 seconds. That's usually what the threshold is. 1, 2, maybe 3, depending on what they have for their team composition. All right, let's go. As soon as you see their healers start walking or anything like that, because their tanks are obviously going to come first, then their DPS, then their supports are usually going to be somewhere behind that. As soon as you see their support line coming to that choke or pushing forward a little bit, that's when you want to push forward. If their tanks and stuff are super spread out and they start touching point, remember, payload's going to be the #1 thing there. Cut off their tanks, cut off their DPS from that support line. Kill them people on the payload and then go for the other people that are in the back line. Worst thing that you can do is try to focus the support down when their tanks and DPS are pushing the payload, and then you don't kill the supports because they're getting healed, or they're still getting pocketed, and their DPS now has split you off into two things. So now you got the DPS shooting at you from one end, and then you got the support shooting at you from the other end. And if you're going to try to go for the DPS after that, you can't, because you already used your cooldowns on the support that don't even matter because they're moving payload. So these are things that you want to kind of keep in mind when it comes to who you're going to go for engaging and when you go to engage and stuff like that. So just kind of keep that in your head. All right, so we're going to play one other team comp. This is going to be a little easier to kind of understand. I'm not going to go into a custom game or anything like that. But this is going to be a Ryan, Zarya, Brig, Lucio, McCree, May. And this will kind of teach you a little bit better on your positioning and pathing. And then after that, we should be able to play one more. And then you guys will be able to kind of see how good you guys' position and stuff are. Oh, did you guys have any questions on any of the stuff that I've said? Like where I'm holding up or why I'm saying this or anything? Because like I said, you guys will be doing that at the end of positioning yourself and calling engages and stuff like that. So if you have any questions on why I'm saying this or when to say this or why did I say it at this time, please ask, because you guys will need to be, I will be asking you guys why you guys are calling it now and stuff like that. So any questions?
Not a question as to what you said, but just a general question.
Okay, go ahead.
When we're punishing them on the rotate, at what point would you call a reset or a back off, I guess?
Like if you're losing?
Yeah.
So a lot of times it's going to depend on how much time or how much close they have to the payload. So during that first reset on first point, we probably could have just backed out. I didn't know how many people was left alive, but we could probably just backed out and gave them 2 ticks and then went back in on the 3rd tick. And went to contest that just due to our team comp and how slow they was kind of touching the point and everything like that, and how long our Winston stalled out. So we could probably go in as 5 or something like that there. Next thing is going to be like if you're losing, if you can give up payload for a little bit, go ahead and give them the payload. And it's the same concept. You can give up as much space as you want as long as they don't get the point. So if you want to give up as much space on second point so you can get resetting in, and the big thing is waiting for abilities to come back online, waiting for people to come back to your team, give them that space, and then you want to come back in. It's not necessarily you're going to be wanting to do a full reset, you're just going to be backing out. And a lot of times the only time you're really going to need to do a full reset is if they're playing aggressive into you and punish in, like, if you're down 2, the enemy team shouldn't necessarily punish you, and if they are trying to punish you, that's when you want to stall it on point and just waste as much time as possible so you get that full reset in so they're not moving the payload. Worst thing that you want to have happen is that you go for that reset and it's like, all right, we need to go ahead and reset, but you're backing off of the payload and letting them still move while you're not dead. So then they're still getting damage into you, they're still doing all this stuff, and you're giving them space, and they're still moving payload that whole time. If you're going to die and you know that you need to reset, die on the payload so it doesn't move. So those hopefully, does that help you understand a little bit on that one?
A bit more, yeah.
Okay. Any other questions?
Who's the priority target that you would need to focus as Sombra? Like,
whoever everybody else is going for hack targets, you mean?
Yeah.
Probably Sigma or any tank, ideally, just so you can farm the EMP. Or if you can find a support that's not necessarily paying attention, or DPS that's not paying attention. The big thing is you want to get targets that can't just 180 and get you out of that hack. So targets like Junkrat maybe, Sigma is going to be a little easy. Mercy for one, Reinhardt. Target you want to definitely stay away for is Moira, because Moira can spy check like super easy. So as soon as you try to hack, she's going to 180 with that right click and interrupt the hack. McCree, because unless you see his cooldown come out, if you see that flashbang, yeah, go ahead, go for McCree, because chances of him landing a headshot as soon as you're coming cloaked from invisibility is going to be kind of low, or landing any damage is going to be kind of low. But it can happen, but obviously, but any tanks are usually a flex tank or one of the supports will be a little easier target to go for. So, all right, any other questions? No? Okay.
Bounty. I know you. You want to play Zarya this round, but I believe that the tank comp was Ryan Zarya, and
Yes.
I have very little experience with Ryan.
It's fine.
I'm terrible with Ryan, but I guess I'll play him.
Okay. I mean, if you're
It
trouble
doesn't
with
make a
Ryan-
difference how good or bad you are with the hero. You're going to be learning how to engage with the hero, so it doesn't
Okay.
matter.
If you all want, I could tank.
All right.
We're going to keep it the same since we're already worried about working on the positioning and stuff like that.
All right.
Because certain roles are going to do certain things after this match here on engages in positioning and stuff like that. So I want the same person that's been learning this stuff to know these things. Okay. What do you want, Blank? Do you want McCree or do you want May?
I'll take McCree.
Okay.
I need to work on him.
I promised you Zarya, so. Oh, wait, really? Okay. Thank you, though.
What type of color is that impossible to pronounce color? Astrogen?
I don't know, like a pink.
Our world is worth fighting for.
Oh, look at stream. Oh, yeah, it's very pink.
Yeah, it's a weird pink color. I don't know. All the community colors have been submitted. All I tell people is give me a name for what color you want, and then give me a hex code. So it can be whatever name you want, and then the hex code will be whatever you want. So. Alright, so we're just going to go through the white room. So we're going to go straight.
Round 1. Capture the objective.
Go to that mini health pack room, and then we're going to fight in this area. We're going to be looking for walls and stuff to engage on. Keep pushing. What are you stopping for? Walk for it. Right, let's go. Use abilities. Use abilities. We have abilities online? Give him space. Give him space. Let's go. Go, 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 go. Push. We can push this. Push for it. Push for it.
I can't push forward if I die.
Alright, so now we're going to be playing a little slow, play defensive. This is what our goal is here, is play defensive. We're not necessarily going to be playing to attack, we're literally trying to wait for our right arm. And so, well, we got a kill. We definitely could have beat it there if we had beat.
Yeah, I wanted to save.
You should have beat it. That would have kept the point alive and solved us time for there. Alright, so we're going to pull back. They got the point, we need to get out. We need a completely hard reset because they're going to punish us. So just pull back and we're going to wait for our break. Right. Let's go for it. Whenever we're ready to engage, that's when we want to use speed boosts and stuff like that. So let's go ahead. We'll go right side. Okay. Oh, let's pull back.
Where we go? We're waiting
Pull
for him
back.
again.
We're pulling back. We're
go
down.
pick him up. Pick him up when he spawns.
Enemy contact. Nice shot.
Alright. Guess I'm gonna walk straight. Alright. Let's go start walking for it. We can go ahead and go main since they're here. Okay, so we don't want to amp until we're ready to push in. So let's go ahead and push in.
I'm lagging so much.
Get that run.
Alright, so this is lost fight. So we need to go ahead and reset. Yeah, we need to go ahead and reset.
We can go in with Rally.
Yep. Let's initiate this fight with Rally and Grab, maybe?
I have high noon, but
Back up. Our main tank's not here.
We're gonna go through white room again. They're giving us that space, so let's go ahead and find an area where we're gonna keep going through white. Where are you going? White room is this mini health pack where we walked through the first time. Okay, so you guys don't know this map. White room is the first room that we walked through.
I don't know what light room is. I'm just saying main, or I don't know what.
White room is this room that is white. We gotta touch. So.
I thought you said light room.
No, white.
Round lost.
Everybody calls that room white room. So when you go main, when you're going main is on the left side with the little post.
Yeah, I know where it is now, but I never knew what that was called.
Okay. Oh. The same on this map. White room is what side are we on? White room is on the right side,
I'd say it's
and bridge is going to be on the
I
left.
see what
We're
you're
obviously
doing there.
going to be playing on the right side, so the fire does not get any value and stuff like that. And we need to wait to use our cooldowns, like amp, bubbles, all these things, until we're ready to engage. If we do not have these cooldowns to engage, then we have to make sure they don't have cooldowns so we can engage. But it's going to be very crucial that we're waiting to engage at a specific time. So we'll go to the right side. And we're gonna go to point. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. Speed into. We speed, come here.
Thanks for on our flank. Just are you being healed?
We're pretty much gonna die here. So just build your ult. Yeah, so we didn't really amp into them. We have to make sure we're amping in to them at the same time. We just kind of amped hills, which we don't need amped hills. We need speed.
Even when they were all critical?
Brig will out heal you if we play it right. You should not be trying to go for hills. We need the speed boost, which is what we're using the Lucio for. Alright, so we're gonna go to the right side. Anytime we're moving, you should have it on speed. If we're not moving, put it on hills. So, you guys ready? Ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
Behind again.
That's fine, leave it on. Alright, on this side. Bars on. Okay. So we need all we're going to be doing, leave the tracer, we don't need a chaser. We don't have abilities to be chasing her.
Time to raise my ATM.
So we need to see which way they're going to go. If they go bridge, all we're going to do is wait for them to come to the bridge and then... That's fine.
I'm level, sorry.
Alright, let's engage, go, go. Good beat, keep pushing this. Alright, well that's... Alright, place up, pull back.
Yep.
Alright, are we here? Alright, let's go. Let's go, 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 go. Push up one, go. Speed in. Oh, that was a good move.
Oh my god.
That was a good move. That's fine. Just die on point. Stall out as long as possible on point.
I have to get back in the fight.
Alright.
I'm coming up on Shatter again.
Alright, let's go to the right side.
Yeah, wait for team up.
We can push for it. They're not here. Just yeah. They don't have anything long range that's gonna kill us in one shot, so we can push for it. Lucio has movement abilities.
May, would you recommend initiating with grabbing it in a fight like this?
You can, it doesn't matter. We have something online, you gotta use it. Alright, you ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
For Shatter here, or you can use grab. If you use grab.
Keep on the flank, keep on the flank.
I'm lagging so much right now.
This is winnable. Nope, not anymore. Alright, let's go ahead and reset. So in this instance, you want to reset as fast as possible. As soon as you feel like the fight is over, you gotta reset, because we're on attack, we don't have time to waste. On defense, on defense, you want to wait and stay as live as long as possible, because you want to waste as much time. Alright, we got time, so play a little slow. Alright, ready? 3, 2, 1, go, 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 go. Push for it, you gotta touch point.
I'm lagging so much right now, I can't.
Yeah, it's fine if you're having technical issues. You can't do anything about that.
住住，不许走！
Ah, thought that reached.
And he's weak, she can't throw it. It's a little disc, why can't you throw it?
I thought it was going to be a reach. And I didn't know how long our Lucio was going to be alive. So this is obviously lost here.
Oh, he got, wow.
Okay, so hopefully you guys, this is a really good example to show you on when to stall and when to kind of get out. Because I know somebody's talking about that. So like I said, when we're on that defense, when they was retaking the objective, we knew it was going to be a loss, right? You knew exactly, hey, we lost 3 people through that crazy Ryan thing. So that was a crazy shadow. So, hold on, where's my mouse? There we go. So during that situation, we're down 3. You know we're losing that fight. We can't win that pretty much no matter what. So at that point, you want to play super defensive. You want to just stall out as long as possible on the objective and give up the point if you need to, but you want to die on the objective. Every single time, that's what you want to be doing when you're on defense. On attack, when we went in, they used ults, we used ults, we didn't win that fight. Okay, fine. Let's go ahead, completely reset as fast as possible. As soon as you feel like the fight's going to be lost, if you're down 1 or 2, you probably want to just go ahead and reset and do that. You don't want to continue fighting and stall out those any extra time. So jump off the map, anything, stand still, whatever you got to do to die, just die as fast as possible so you can reset. If we would have stalled out, and this big thing when it comes to that, if we would have stalled out a little longer on that attack, we would not have enough time to retake or try to do that last fight that we did. Yes, we'll probably be doing, I'll probably try to look over a VOD review in a little bit. I'm waiting on well, yeah, because I'll probably look over it for like 30 minutes and then we'll be playing that new game. Yeah, look at, if we would have stalled out for another 3 or 4 seconds, we probably wouldn't have been able to touch as a full 6-man on that last push. And it's very crucial that you get your time out, or you get your group reset before that. If you're taking a fight and this is a good thing when it comes to King of the Hill, at 85%, once it's at 85%, that's last fight. There's nothing else. So you have that's 15 seconds for you to make it back from the spawn to the objective, and you should have enough time, if you use a couple cooldowns or something like that, you should have enough time to make it back without any major issues. So you don't need to swap to ball or anything like that. Now, if you're coming back from spawn at 85%, yeah, you probably need to swap to something to stall out, or at least touch the objective to get the overtime, and then everybody else should be able to touch. So just kind of keep that in mind when it comes to that. All right, does anybody have any questions on why we went this way, or why did we do this, or why did we do anything specific that way, or when I'm calling things? Does anybody have any questions on why I'm saying certain things there? No? Okay. So, a couple things is when we're on King of the Hill, the very first fight, you have to make sure that we're amping out of spawn. If we're running a Lucio, amp out of spawn as soon as we come out of spawn on the first match, first fight or whatever. Okay. After that, you don't amp out of spawn ever again. And then you want to save that amp for when we engage. Like I said, whenever we're moving, put it on speed. Whenever we're staying in one area, put it on hills. So amp speed to get us there, switch it back to hills after that's over. So just kind of keep that in mind. Yo, thank you, the real McGrippers, for that sub. Appreciate it. Okay, so we can see if we can do our last one in pugs if we have enough people for pugs. We'll give it about 40 seconds or so. I'm going to get some water really quick and then see if we get some people in here that want to play against us for our last couple matches here. Pugs stream, I guess, is a good. There we go. All right, so give me a minute. I'm gonna get some water really quick, and then let me go pee too, and then I'll be right back. Okay. Whew. All right. Let's see. Okay, so it doesn't look like we have enough people, so we're going to going back to quick play last match. All right, let's leave game. Quick play. Okay, so let's explain how y'all's last final match is going to work. Did I not add your comp account? I don't. What do you mean? I have no idea. So how this is going to work is that our support line, Castigar and Pixel, you guys are going to call when we need to engage. So it's going to be kind of on you guys when we're going to engage. Our tank line, JT or J2 and Light, you guys are going to call where we're going to be posting up. Okay? So wherever we're holding or anything like that, that's when you need to that you're telling us where we're going to be defending and stuff like that from. So you guys can talk, whoever wants to go wherever, you pick first, and then someone will pick after, and then someone will pick after that, and go from there to kind of see how you guys are doing on you guys' engages, disengages, positioning and stuff to help you there. We're going to be running the Reinhardt composition to make it a little easier and stuff like that. And then if we have time, we can maybe do the monkey one, but I'm just going to be sticking to the Reinhardt one because it's a little easier to kind of play and punish to see how good you guys' position is. Do you guys have any questions or anything like that before we get started on the last one? No? Okay. Yeah, we didn't have enough people. Like I said, Golden Nerd Lobbies, once we start getting more people on stream and everything more consistently, then hopefully when we do these matches and stuff, we can do them in a pug format, and I can just sub people out in every single time. So that's kind of what the plan is. It just really depends on how many people's watching consistently and all that type of stuff. So, okay. So we can skip this one if you guys want to skip. If you guys want to play it, we can play it. But type in the group chat on either skip for S to skip or P for play on what you guys want to do.
Whoops, I joined team chat by accident.
That's fine. S
I got the gist of it though.
Okay, alright, looks like we're playing, so.
I haven't played this map in so long, I kind of want to play it.
Alright.
What are we running for?
The Rhine composition, so Brig Lucio
Actually,
support.
If that's the case, so are we gonna treat this as our final match?
Yes.
Okay, never mind.
Wait, so the tanks like choose how we go in, like where we go in from?
Yes.
30 seconds.
Blank,
Alright.
what are you wanting, May or McCree?
I mean, I don't know like main, but I don't know the names of like the rooms and stuff.
Our world is. I can't wait.
Considering
to
you're the
get
main tank,
started.
I'm going to let you take the most charge since the rest of our team's relying on you. But let's see this go. So
I'm back.
Yeah, all you're gonna be doing is pathing for us. That's all.
5, 4,
Since we're on attack, you're gonna have to path on where we need to go, and then.
Go main right now.
commencing. Capture objective A.
Let's go right side. Like amp us through right side. I'll push it.
Okay, amping in 3, 2, 1, go.
Good.
punish out the right, punish out the right.
Already at the personal. Already at the personal.
That's 2 out. Let's push it with that.
Yep, push into them.
Oh my gosh.
Sim low, sim low, sim low, sim low.
Some has a huge pocket, so I don't think we can get her.
How are we their side?
Guys, we're really scattered. Alright guys, come back out.
We've spawned in.
That fight's winnable. It's only 2 of them. It's both supports.
Yeah.
Why are we backing out?
Someone touch point.
The Zarya's overextended.
I'm lagging so much. I can't even do it. Gosh, I died before my health was. Sorry, I just.
We
That
should
was a pretty
back
good
out.
engage. That was a pretty good engage and pretty good fight. How you don't know how I live back there because they don't know how to aim and I know how to move. At least I know how to move against certain
Teleport back where
characters.
other spots were.
Alright, what's the plan?
I need healing.
Let's do a bit of scouting before we amp it immediately. So they seem to all be on high ground.
Let's go left and force them, like, look, far left and force them to drop down.
What drop?
I got Chatter.
Three on the flank, three on the flank.
Push into him.
That's both of their tanks out. Let's go.
McCree down, McCree down.
I'm going in through main. Going in through main.
Can you break your? Oh, never mind.
Okay, Ryan.
You wasted all, you wasted all.
I'll stand point. Ryan and McCree, that's what push up.
Game difference. Yes.
Hold on, man. Oh.
Watch out for
Objective A captured. Commence
Let's push
attack
into him.
on objective
Let's push into him.
Hold on. Wait for me.
Where,
Let's go
where,
right
where?
side.
Through main,
Or we
right
might as
side?
well go main, actually. Yeah, let's go far right, actually. Go far right, go far right.
Positioning and stuff is much better.
Is that McCree's right side?
Pathing is really good.
Oh, he's still right, still right.
Push into him.
Coming up.
Where's the McCree?
He's on
On
point.
the objective.
Zen main.
That was a crazy wall, by the way.
Get him.
Their pathing and positioning is so much better.
Sorry, it's high charge.
Step rider.
Yes.
Yeah, their positioning and pathing,
Nice.
man, what a complete
I admit
difference of you guys' gameplay and stuff like that, and your pathing. Light, really good job on pathing on where to go. And I do want to shout out to our, I think it was Zari who called, like, let's scout and see where they're going and stuff like that, and trying to get them focused down and drop down. So really good call on that as well. You definitely want to kind of scout if you can, and obviously like see the healing. Like I said, if we play it right, the healing will outdo Lucio. So but yeah, really good job on scouting and playing and looking on which way we can go for and stuff like that. And then also one thing too is switching up the way that we're going. If we're going left, we're going right. These are things you definitely want to be doing. And they drop down. I don't know why they drop down, but you punish them for it. Really good job there to be able to go off of those things. Our engages almost, I think every single time our engages were excellent. The only thing I will say, that amp that we did after we capped first point, kind of a waste because our Zarya wasn't even there. So these are the minor thing that you want to look for. If you're going to do that, you should be the one to cap the objective and then just amp back to us, or just use your normal speed boost and then be able to amp us all in at the same time, something like that. But overall, that was kind of the only flaw that I kind of see from the amping and the engaging. Every engage that that you called was excellent. That's exactly what I wanted to see and hear and stuff. And the thing that you want to kind of understand is, like, you don't take forever to engage. No matter what composition you're playing, you're usually not going to take more than 3 seconds to engage. You're going to be looking, scouting, okay, let's go. Simple as that. Every single time, that is how you need to be doing it. All right, do you guys want to play one last one?
Sure.
I can.
Okay. Or we want to play the Ryan Zarya again, or you guys want to try the Winston composition? Because I know
I
Light is...
prefer Ryan, honestly.
Okay, because I was going to say, I know you're lagging and stuff like that, so I don't want to put you at too much of a disadvantage. All right, so we'll do the Ryan Zarya.
On second point, when we had killed like half of them or whatever, and their Zen was behind, our Lucio amped me into their Zen.
That's
It was
funny.
great.
Yeah, I don't know.
You could feel the terror.
Well, the amp is just scary in general, because, like, if the team's coordinated, you're not going to be able to stop, especially if you have any type of coordination. And you can always coordinate with 1 or 2 people, and it's always scary. Any coordination is scary.
I mean, if I was Zen in the enemy backline with a Brig amp towards me, I'd be horrified.
Well, I mean,
Oh, that's nice.
I don't think I could ever say I'd be scared because I probably wouldn't be in the enemy's backline as on
Yeah,
second
we
point bearer.
ran
So.
through their team and he was behind us and he rotated from right to the choke.
Yeah, and also the pathing on second point was good too.
Worth fighting for.
Well, let's take high ground on just drop the area.
Alright, so good luck on you guys' last match. Talk to you guys after this match is over. Give you guys a little assessment.
This is a support question. Would you recommend amping it only once you've gotten a pick? Because you said you amp it once you're committed and when you haven't gotten a pick.
No, you amp to start fights. You don't amp. Yeah, it's the same thing with ultimates. You don't wait to get a pick with an ultimate. You just hit Q. Okay, so we may have to back out. I don't know if Light is here. Light, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
4, 3,
Wait, are you guys in the game already?
Yeah, yeah. We'll go ahead back out. We'll go ahead
I'm in the
back
menu.
out.
It's still loading. It's
Okay.
Okay.
You may DC.
I was
If you DC, we'll go ahead and send you another invite back. If
I
you're
mean, I can hear you. I'm in the lobby now.
Okay, you're in the lobby. You good?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see if we can queue up again. Yeah,
I
if you
was
end up
so
if you end up DCing, and this goes for anybody who's watching in stream or if you're in now, if you end up DCing, I usually give it about a minute or so. If you happen to load the stream in and stuff like that, ping me in stream. Hey, my internet shut off. I'm coming back in now or something, so I don't end up searching for another person. So just for future references for everybody.
And if you leave, you get banned.
Yeah, if you end up well, that's usually true too. Very rarely will I not end up banning somebody.
Welcome to Jungle. Prepare.
Alright, this will be interesting.
Select your
Blank, what do you want to play? McCree or me? Alright, so let's see how their team comp plays on a map where this team comp is very bad on. This map is Junkertown. If you don't know, this is very long range. Not really brawly. Even third point where it's even Streets phase and third point is also not really the best board either. So.
Do any of you know how to open?
What is wrong with this? Why are you breaking the bike?
Yeah, you stand on the little square right there.
Probably your
Stand on
internet.
Oh.
Or actually, no.
Whoa.
I think I'm gonna get tetanus just from looking at this place.
It should be a little. My computer should be a little faster now.
Thank you, my
Yeah, I just got in when I stopped that. Okay. I was running something in the background.
Alright.
So we'll give him a.
I forgot that I was downloading something. in the
Here he
background.
Yeah, that'll usually stop.
Alright. Wasn't in shape.
Yeah, I'm gonna push up further. One of our healers is gonna push.
I wouldn't punch until we know who they are.
I can hold point, so you don't have to worry about holding the objective. I will hold point.
Widow half.
Okay, damage boosted. Yeah, here, let's try to get up to the high ground.
They're behind us?
Oh, Brick, when you get a stun on the Rhine, just call it out so that I can focus it.
Yep.
Let's see you get past this.
Mercy in our behind Mercy Hanzo.
Good stagger, honestly.
Oh, the density combo was a little too late there.
Oh,
yeah, it stopped right when I hit the wall.
Widow low, Widow well.
They're doing a pretty good job.
Here, can I switch to monkey comp here after all?
No, we're gonna stay on this.
Welcome to Junkertown.
Maywall turns into.
my energy's been really low.
Turned Ryan into fair.
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's not
The issue is we can't play it close. We should motion energy.
Yeah, no, I agree.
They just back up whenever we push. It's a good thing because we just get to keep doing it.
better for a dive.
On Zeus, top
That's
left.
what I was gonna say. When we hit the comps. Oh my gosh, I'm so low. Thank you. I'm gonna take high ground.
Widow's low.
See, they're doing a really good job pathing and just kind of letting them come to us because we can't really go to high ground. We can't go to high ground. It's going to be hard to get to high ground. But if they come into us, we win. Because we have the payload to heal.
If not, we can pop Blizzard grab.
I'm gonna drop that over here.
You guys are really pushed up. You guys are really pushed up. I can't really help.
Where did he show from? I'm still lagging. I literally stopped.
I got hooked by hog.
Yeah, they can definitely push forward there. We find it better.
Nice doubles. Sorry, if you want me to not.
Okay, I'm gonna ready to grab.
Move in with the rod. Move in. Oh, I didn't know you were gonna grab. Sorry, I didn't see you. Like,
Backup requested.
I processed you saying you're gonna grab with
I'm gonna hop on point.
Yeah, I got point. You guys are good.
Okay.
That was a good duel, but I think that was an overuse and also.
I shouldn't have. I didn't
it's alright.
Oh crap! I literally saw him put it down.
Like they're doing really good keeping pressure on them when they have an advantage. So they
Thank you guys. Great heals.
Keep on point. Keep on point.
great beat.
Oh my gosh, even this.
This is one of them.
Step right.
You guys' positioning and engages and stuff like that are excellent. I was very curious how you guys was going to play this, while running this composition that is very bad for this map. Because obviously he was like, well, can we switch to the monkey? Obviously monkey's going to be way better here because you can rotate around and jump to high ground and stuff like that. But what happens when you can't play monkey because they're just doing better than you and stuff like that, or it's a better team comp or whatever, right? You need to be able to path your way correctly and stuff, which is what was pretty much happening. On first point, it was pretty good. You just kept holding payload. You do what you can, like try to take some angles, take away sniper areas and stuff like that, play on the payload, wait for them to drop down or wait for them to kind of contest, which is what you did, and then we went to go and attack them. On second point, we kind of did the same thing, played a little slow. Then we had got our Reinhardt and Brig, and McCree, I think. All you guys went to go take high ground, took that high ground away from them while the payload was still moving. Then you guys dropped back down on the payload, and then it was just excellent play. You guys took the space when you needed to take the space, then you fought on payload when you needed to fight on payload, which is maybe once or twice that you actually had to fight on the payload. But most of the time, you guys was up there taking space, getting aggressive, taking the high ground away. Excellent positioning and rotations of you guys' abilities and stuff like that. So really good job there. I didn't really hear any real engages on when you needed to engage, so you got to make sure you're really communicating with your team, especially with the Lucio player, because that's going to be one of the big things, is making sure that the amp speed is communicated with your team if you can. So anytime you're amping speed or something like that, let your team know, hey, let's keep fighting, let's keep going, stuff like that. But I will want to say on that beat at the end there, excellent timing on that beat, because they used beat, so you can go ahead use your beat as well to keep everybody alive and use it second so that you keep everybody alive a little longer than the first beat. All right, so that's pretty much it. You guys definitely improved your gameplay from your positioning and stuff like that. and engages and disengages. Well, there wasn't really too many disengages we needed, but for the most part, you guys' engages and positioning and stuff was really good. Do you guys have any questions or anything like that from me?
No.
No?
Was popping high noon and on top of high ground at final point a good idea to zone off?
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say do it on high ground, because you gotta remember they have a Widow. They're running a Widow and a Hanzo. Well,
they switched off the junk.
Yeah, well, they switched off to junk, but they still have the Hanzo. The biggest thing when it comes to taking angles, and stuff, when you can't really duel somebody, is if they can one-shot kill you, and you can't one-shot kill them, you gotta be very careful where you're playing. So if you do take that high ground and stuff like that, that's great that you can see them, but they can also see you, and you're not going to be able to one-shot him faster than he can one-shot you. So you got to keep that in mind. But yeah, zoning out at the end there, I would have definitely done it from the low ground and just played a little further back so you can still be protected by your team. But yeah,
I was trying to avoid Diva.
Either way, it doesn't matter. They're either going to get on the payload and go there or come to try to attack you. But like I said, you got to remember that your team also has to support you as well. And like I said, they had that Hanzo. He can one-shot you faster than you're going to be able to one-shot him. So these are things you want to keep in mind. But other than that, yeah, the zone out on the end there, that really good. It's the same reason why I may ult it. Like, I had May ult, we also had beat. Like, we just use the ults. We have 7 minutes left, so like, even if we use them, it's not like we're not going to have time to build them up again. So might as well go ahead and use them if we see an opportunity, and we had picks, so better use them. So, but any other questions?